Good morning. It is Tuesday, August 22nd, 2023. And today we have all sorts of exciting stuff ahead of us. Nvidia, is it going to go to 1 million per share or 10 million per share? AMD, is it going to emulate Nvidia for reasons? Are the MOSs on? Are they off? Will you make money? Will you lose money? Will you not realize how much money you have? All these things and more will be revealed today on the WallStreetBets Morning Talk. And now, your host, Mr. Opinion, is unpopular.
Thank you so much for the warm introduction, Rad. And I'm not sure if all of those questions will be answered today, but we'll definitely discuss one thing, which is ARM going public. They filed their F1. That's right, F1, not S1, since they are I think, a European country. A European company. And so they're filing an F1, listing their ADR on the American markets on NASDAQ, so that good old Mayoshi-san can finally realize a win and sell some of his ARM holdings, which means for the first time ever, I guess, regular people like you and me can buy ARM on the open market. Semiconductor wars are heating up. So, will anyone be trading ARM when it opens? I know how much you guys love NVIDIA, so I assume the answer is yes.
Not on open, but maybe later, because it'll probably go down in the week after open, but maybe later.
I find trading IPOs to be extremely dangerous. Here's a case for you, Coinbase.
I'm not seeing here where it's going or when it's going to go public, so I'm not sure actually. So let's switch gears to something maybe more time relevant. Earnings. I see Tiger already posted earnings. We've got Dick's and BJ's, among others, posting earnings today. I won't take credit for that joke. T Prince has been wanting to say it for ages, and she did this morning. So yeah, between Dick's and BJ's, which do you prefer? And or any of the other stocks, like Canada's one and only tech company, Shopify. Miniso up 8%, true. Tell me about it, Pin, the parking lot. What's going on with Miniso? You an investor? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. Your mic isn't working? All right, no worries. Miniso, for those of you who don't know, is basically like a Japanese dollar store. It's kind of been around for a while, and they're pretty international. I don't think they're actually Japanese, though. I think they might actually be like Chinese owned, but they present Japanese. Oh, what's this? NVIDIA just crossed a previous high of 480.
Video to 500, maybe.
Yeah, it's at 600 end of week. I should have done a ban bet.
Congratulations, folks. It is now officially impossible to be bag holding Nvidia shares. So, way to go.
Yeah.
This is your chance. You could buy what might be the top, or maybe the new floor. Who knows?
Yeah, we had shout out to this whole call yesterday. Maggie Moon especially. A lot of people called out like really, really good plays like NVAX, Moderna, NVIDIA, AMD. Someone else mentioned something that went up like 15% yesterday. Sorry, I can't remember what that is. But yeah, had some killer calls on here yesterday, like right before everything popped.
Speaking of shit that went up like 15%, Arch Aviation, their midnight eVTOL aircraft got FAA approved, so now they can do like official flight testing and all that.
That's ACHR, right?
Yep, that's the ticker.
What is NVIDIA? It's just laughing at this thing. Like, what the fuck?
I think Nvidia is the new Tesla. It just goes up for like, because some
It's
guy.
so much crazier than Tesla.
Yeah.
It's so much crazier than Tesla ever was when it was even going crazy, in my opinion.
I mean, it's a leading chip company that has probably the best AI technology when AI is the hottest thing right now, right? So, like, I get it's going crazy, but they keep showing that their chips are the best for all the AI stuff.
How much is an A100 chip? Are they still 40 grand or are they like 15K? Does anybody know?
I think the pricing is all over the place. I've even seen people offer to pay above market rates. Unless you're talking about what price they sell them for.
Yeah, I was just wondering how much, like, yeah, just like the A100 chip specifically. I saw something where they were like $40,000 in February or some crazy shit. You got to think, probably a pretty good profit margin on those.
I'm kind of hoping to see someone who sold naked $500 Nvidia calls that is now going to be sweating all morning. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I posted this earlier, but I'll post it again. This is a guy who traded puts on NVIDIA. Yeah. This is why when I traded puts on NVIDIA, I traded puts on NVIDIA on Friday, and I held them for exactly 20 minutes, and I said, I'm out. Good choice. Yeah, it's so bad. The comments in that are hilarious. They're like, only 20%, and you're fine. Great advice always from WallStreetBets Reddit. I mean, yeah, that is just pure gambling, right? Like shorting NVIDIA all the way up here. Looking at that, like the week, day, year, even like a year chart is so ridiculous. You're just straight up gambling, trading puts on this at this point.
Test.
I hear you.
I heard you, Ryler.
I don't even remember what I said before, but I was talking to myself apparently.
Oh, that's the worst.
Go NVIDIA.
Oh, Sound, someone DM'd me, praising you for your NVO call back in July. I don't know if they meant NVIDIA or...
NVO. Maybe. That sounds really familiar. Nova Nordisk. Yeah. That wasn't me. I cannot take credit for that. Thank you for whoever DM'd you, but it was I want to say it was Predator. So you can thank Predator for that one. I can't take credit.
I didn't DM anyone, but I was bullish on them for their weight loss shit with Wegovy and Ozempic. And if they can get the FDA to approve Wegovy for like weight loss, like it can be prescribed for that, then insurance companies will be obligated to cover them. But right now, I think it's only Eli Lilly's tirzepatide that is covered by insurance because Wegovy's right now so expensive.
Well, I was just giving you credit for that play because if you not mentioned it, I never would have gotten. I didn't even know Novo Nordisk made like Ozempic until you said something about it, and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting."
Yeah, it actually
There's probably
could
some
be
movement there.
a big industry because if they can get everything sorted out, if they can turn it to a pill form, that will be massive. You just take a pill once a day and then lose weight. That's huge.
I'd like to take a little bit of like a left turn, if I may. Moderna and Novavax yesterday. Novavax went crazy. It's up like 21% right now from yesterday morning. Moderna also up like something like 12%. Do we think COVID's going to be a hot topic soon? Or because I'm kind of hearing a lot more about it. And it's just interesting to think about because we haven't really seen anything in a while from it.
It's probably just
I
buying
think
the
Biden was the.
Where did Scald go?
Scald, come
I
back.
thought it was.
Scald, the cornfield got you. You can hear it.
What's on Ohio's cell phone service? It's terrible out there.
He's taking his kid to school again, so he has to drive through cornfields.
Yes, COVID has been the last 5 and 6 strain. It has been talked about more recently in the last week than a few of the others. So there is some questions with people about the COVID strains. I know a lot of people I know got it who haven't had it before. I think that there is a lot more coming out about these last strain.
And people could just be buying those companies to prepare for a potential new ramp up.
Saw something where Alex Jones was talking about it, so it has to be a real thing, right?
He still has a platform? I didn't know that.
I mean, I don't. That's a good question. I don't follow him, so I have no idea. I think he still does. The last time I saw him, Tim Dillon was on his show. I just love Tim Dillon. Always praise him.
He spoke with a TSA agent who was like, yeah, dude, masks are coming back, and put that forward as absolute proof, which is about as good of a source as asking a McDonald's employee how their earnings report will be.
There is a guy on Reddit who was like, all right, I got some inside info for you. I'm an Uber driver, and I just had a realtor in my back seat. I don't know if anybody saw that post. I was talking about the housing market. There's no play. He's like, I'm not going to mention what ticker, but it's some bank out of Tennessee.
Yeah, anecdotal evidence is the strongest.
Yeah, it's the best.
CBS News, which means nothing really. CDC tracking new COVID variant 286 at the highly mutated strain reported in Michigan. New COVID variant causing concern among scientists in London. COVID hospitalizations on, let's say, Long Island more than doubled in a month.
I don't know. The thing is CB. We just haven't seen anything from it in a while, so you got to think it's gonna come back at some point, or at least maybe like fear mongering of it will. That's what I'm like. I don't know. That's just my idea, but it's just weird that Novavax is up 7% in pre now. Holy shit!
And that wasn't you couldn't find Novavax variant, Novavax vaccine in the U.S. It seemed. I couldn't find it anywhere.
Novavax is actually. It is. They had a COVID vaccine. I forget what it was called.
They were the one who took a massive dive, right? Because they made a vaccine, but they sold the rights to India, so or some company in India. So even though it was making money, they had to give like all their money over to that other company, and they wound up like keeping nothing for themselves, right? And then they got revealed, and they like took a 50% hit. Wasn't that Novavax?
Yep.
Well, yeah. I didn't know that they did that. I just know that their vaccine, if you believe in those things, were like the old vaccines. Wasn't the RNA vaccine. It was done the old way. Yeah. Okay.
I can't know the specifics, but they were always trying to do international, but they messed up their deal where pretty much all the money they brought in for like major nations like India didn't actually go to them, and it completely ruined their finances.
I see something here about Novavax. It's actually running on news with this little pump. Novavax says updated COVID shot neutralize new Omicron strains. Updated COVID vaccine effective against Eris. I guess that's a new variant.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
ERIS.
Yeah. Spoke of that yesterday. That's true. Yeah. But check out how the Novavax vaccine is different from the RNA vaccines, and then if they ever have it, if people take vaccines, they can make a decision.
The market cap's only $750 million.
Does anyone here remember a book called Megatrends, where a little article becomes a bigger type of thing?
I don't know how many people here can actually read, so
Yeah.
was there ever like a short film on it? Was it on Reading Rainbow at some point? Then it's got a shot that I might have seen it.
Well, it sounds like what happens on Facebook now. People read a headline and then share with somebody else.
Yeah, this is back in the 90s. It was written most likely. But anyway, it's an interesting book. I do a lot of magazines. I get a lot of news coming in. When the first COVID was hitting beginning, I was watching and realizing this is a big deal. And I was even wearing a mask just because, and people would ask me why I was. So this is happening again, not like the beginning maybe, but it's happening again where the news is becoming very interesting because it's never seen news like this for the last two strains. So, that mask thing may not be far behind. I hope not.
So what's the play?
Any of the vaccine makers.
Just buy them.
I do have. Sorry. I have a bit of a play for NVAX. I would say like $10 calls. They might be insanely expensive today, so maybe wait and see if Novavax chills out from this run up a little bit. But $10 calls for 922. They have some kind of update scheduled for their COVID vaccine to be released on 9/15. So the idea is there. Buy the rumor, sell the news. I'm going to sell before that announcement comes out because exactly what Rad said. The last time they had news, it was really significant news, really bad for that company. This stock used to be $270 a share,
yeah,
$331.
Yeah, I bought it at $258 a share. I look at I go, let me buy some Novavax again. What did I buy them for? I look back, I sold them 20% when it went down. And yeah, I bought it for $248 a share.
If you're feeling, if you got some capital, I say maybe invest, buy a couple of those 10s, and then maybe hold some of them through that announcement. I don't know. I like the buy the rumor, sell the news though, because that makes a lot of sense to me. Because you're always trading against other people, you know what I mean? Sell into demand, not into desperation. The first aliens, now that's a distraction from the bigger picture. Yes, sir.
All right, let's forget about this COVID. Let's talk about FOMO.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
Oh, actually, I do have something that I think is worth bringing up for people, just to keep in mind. Former President Jimmy Carter, very sick on hospice care. The reason I'm bringing this up, this isn't a play, it's just something to keep in mind. If a US president dies, the market is closed that next day. So anyone who's playing FOMC, keep in mind, who's playing Jackson Hole, if President Carter dies, market's closed that day. So keep that in mind as you're getting Friday options. The market could be shut down, and his family has said he does not have long left. So just keep that in mind in your short-term plays.
Yeah, we'll probably make peanuts.
So what happens if, for example, if they shut the market down on Friday and the options expire on Friday?
I don't know how it's handled. I just know that when a president dies, the market shut down for the day just out of like respect. So I don't know how
Oh,
it gets
I get
settled.
I get that. Right, I get that. But then do they exercise your options, or if they're in the money, or what do they do?
I think that's one where you have to call your broker and ask how they handle it, right?
Roger.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to kill the mood. Just something for all buying like daily calls to be aware of.
We're all Jimmy Carter fans here.
Talking about Nvidia, AVGO yesterday I said might be a good sympathy, and I missed it. But it did go up like 4.5%. So congratulations if anybody got in on AVGO. I think AVGO is a super solid sympathy play to Nvidia because looking at last earnings, AVGO I think ran 22% just off Nvidia's crazy hype after their amazing earnings announcement. So it's something you guys might want to look into. It's at $8.73 a share right now. Yesterday it was at $8.40, so it's up quite a bit. So just be careful. But
All right, so pin that in the parking lot as pointed out. Apparently, it's the day of the funeral. That's considered the market holiday, not the day of death. So I guess you'll have a bit more warning.
So that's a little bit easier to predict than the day he dies.
So less, easier to predict. But so just
If he
know,
dies.
when they funeral date, the market will be closed. But not the Canadian market, so you can keep trading the TSX.
There's no official day of mourning for Herbert Hoover, huh?
Yeah, I always heard Hoover kind of sucked. That's why they named the vacuum after him.
Yeah, SMCI and EXTR. But the only thing I'll say about that 901 is the reason I'm going with like AVGO and AMD. I don't really like AMD. I don't know if I like AMD or AVGO better because these stocks just tend to move like a lot, and it just SMCI. Let's take a look. It's worth a lot, but I would just worry about the volume, man. Like, because it's only traded 14,000 shares in pre.
That's why I like playing tickers like SOXL because it covers all the semis.
I need to get in on that.
You guys playing SOXL today or no?
I like doing 1 DTEs on it, but haven't picked a strike yet.
You can do. Oh shit.
I think it ran pretty good yesterday. I don't know if I would get too crazy today, but who knows? I mean, is there anything semis related in terms of earnings this week besides Nvidia, obviously?
I thought I saw something. Damn Serious Message said last NVIDIA earnings, I turned $25 into 2K on one option. And I can verify that because I didn't do this, but I saw a 350 was $35 that day, and we all know that NVIDIA went to like 380 or whatever the fuck it went to. So yeah, it's at least that.
You think they're gonna let you win twice?
No, fuck no. I'm not gonna trade earnings. I'm good on that. I'll wait till after.
I think they're gonna let Nvidia do its thing again, because I mean, this is just like my just smoke the joint. It's fucking 5 a.m, so take this with a grain of salt. But if you think about like just what this last year has been, right? Everybody was so fucking bearish when that bank shutdown happened, right? And they were just getting their faces melted off. All you guys were like buying puts and selling calls, trying to figure out who wasn't going to go bankrupt. And then we just hit this massive bull run. Adobe, like Nvidia, Microsoft, Google, whatever. And if you think about boomers, they're all loving this shit. But they've been holding Nvidia since COVID started. Like, these people are not selling Nvidia. And I think that's the most important thing, is like, once you're entrenched from like 2019 through the COVID stimulus, putting money into your IRA, and you're just sitting on a shitload of Nvidia shares, and every time your calls explode, you just buy more shares and you never sell. Like, there's some people who are holding Nvidia like it's fucking Bitcoin, and they're not going to sell. So take that information into consideration when you try and bet on its downside. Like, the after hours move is one thing. We all know the fucking manipulation that goes on before the earnings call. But like, if you are just bullish and you hold shares in Nvidia, like 1,000 shares of Nvidia, nobody can tell you shit. And one earnings call doesn't make a difference to you, especially if you've been holding since 2020.
That's very true.
Yeah, I like that assessment a lot, and it makes a ton of sense. If you just look at like a week chart on that, like yeah, AI hot sector just started what, 3 months ago? Why the fuck would you sell Nvidia if you bought it at $60 a share? That's probably what it was at around pandemic times, right? Or at least that's what I think I remember.
Something like that, yeah.
Let's see here. Fucking 2020 was at like $65 a share. Yeah, not selling that.
Right. So you understand when you get 1,000 shares that early, and everybody's betting against you, and you're like, bro, I'm never selling these 1,000 shares. I was in so fucking early. And so, like, yeah, there's like little times where you think, oh man, like, can it really keep going up? But I was in Bitcoin in the same sense. Like, I was playing underground poker, buying Bitcoin for like $300 to settle out a game. Like, one Bitcoin, $300 in New York City. And this is when people were like putting some of their paycheck into Bitcoin at $300. And so when you guys talk about Bitcoin going up and down and Nvidia going up and down, just remember there are people out there who have been degens since fucking 2011 and have been bag holding Bitcoin, speculating on Apple, speculating on Facebook before it IPO'd, speculating on Nvidia. And we just hold shares.
That's very correct.
Yeah.
I did the same thing when I bought Tesla at $16 a share, but I'm an old man.
Do you still have it?
Everyone asked me. I sold some, but yes. 401ks, yeah, I sold it some, but yes. And also, I got a big hit on a company when I met the owner of Panera at $7 a share when he moved over to PNRA. So I had a couple of big deals. I believed in Tesla before it was a stock. So when it goes down or things go down, you don't look hurt that bad. So you're not really making a move. You're so correct on that assumption. Very good words.
Well, I don't know if this is really something we want to talk about, but maybe we do. Zoom went all the way up to as high as 74.50 on earnings yesterday, and it is now, I just think this is really funny, completely back at the point where it was at close yesterday.
Is the sound bot working for anyone else?
Not for me.
I don't hear it.
Not for me.
I think that means.
I hear it, but it's finicky when it's on or off for people.
All right, let's see if we can get it working again.
That's how I
Don't
know
bother
you guys are out of it. Because you can't stand the sound of silence for like 5 fucking seconds, then your ADD kicks in.
Can you fill our silence?
You can feel a couple things. Bend over.
I'm not playing ukulele ever again.
No, but in all seriousness, yesterday I was talking to you guys about medical properties trust and how they had their 50% dividend cut. The puts had a nice little swing up and then back down. I'm gonna enter into the 750s in the money puts again. I think the pump we got yesterday was a little shakeout, but I think as people understand that they need to be rotating into higher yielding stocks, they're not going to continue to hold medical properties trust at, an 8% dividend yield. So yesterday, like the 750 puts I got for 62 cents on average cost, they went up to I think like 78. I didn't want to close because I was going to hold them till Friday anyway. I think now average cost was around the 50s, so I'll probably put some bids in around that range. But if you're in a MPW from yesterday and still holding, I would just consider that you still have the fact that it's a dividend strategy play. So with record date and ex-dividend dates this week, a lot of puts are really going to print on Friday, like right around that 12 o'clock hour when people start dumping. Don't get fucking scared if you're in puts this week. That's all I'm going to say.
Did anybody get in on Tesla? Up 4% in pre right now. Where you at, Tech Monk?
He's probably losing money.
He made a lot yesterday.
Oh, did he post his gains again?
Yeah,
Or
well, he was
lost
talking about
pointers,
it yesterday and shit. I mean, I just know that he's a bull, and yesterday was, what were we up on QQQ, 1.6% at the end of the day? I'm sure he did very well. I know he's a big Tesla bull, and Tesla's killing it right now.
Tesla matched NVIDIA yesterday.
I don't get what's going on with this.
Well, I read something that they're starting to produce the final versions of the Cybertruck, and that's coming up. And I think they're coming to the end of their rolling shutdown of the different plants for retooling and repairs. So they're going to be ramping up production again. So I mean, Tesla's heading into the Cybertruck season, and they've got so many orders that they stopped taking orders for the Cybertruck. They have such a backlog for the Cybertruck that they stopped taking orders for them. So should be interesting the next three to 6 months. I sold 210 strike puts on Tesla, hoping to get some more shares, and it almost got there, but then it popped up yesterday, and my premium is nice on those puts that I sold, but I want to get the shares. before they start the mass production of the Cybertruck.
Damn, what did it hit? Like two? Didn't it hit like 213? That's so close.
Yeah, it got to 213, and then on Friday, and then yesterday it just skyrocketed. I was kind of sad, actually. I really want the shares.
My NVIDIA puts are just taking a phenomenal L right now, guys.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro.
It happens. I still have until January for them. So I've got time for this irrational exuberance to wear off and for the price to implode. But we'll see.
And when NVIDIA goes to $1 million a share, you'll get them for $1. Dollar cost average.
So on NVIDIA, last week I sold when the price was going down. I sold 350 strike cash secured puts on NVIDIA, and those I bought the puts back at an 87% profit, and resold them again yesterday when the price went up at a $400 strike. And I mean, the premium is on selling those puts is just amazing. I just keep doing that, and so far it's been working out pretty well. And also on NVIDIA, HSBC, I think somebody said HSBC raised their price target to $780 for NVIDIA shares. But earlier in the year, HSBC also said that they had a price target of $128 for NVIDIA shares. So I'm not sure how much I would trust their analyst estimates, or price targets rather. I will reiterate my thesis on NVIDIA. The critical part of their earnings is going to be their software and services and how those are being received by the marketplace. I mean, they've always had phenomenal chips and stuff like that, but what's different this time around from last time, like when they were doing the GPUs for crypto mining, they didn't have a suite of software and services to go along with that, because you just buy the GPU and you get your own mining software and everything else, and you don't really need services for that. You just set it up and you run with it. But with their AI initiatives, they did put in place a whole suite of software and services that complements their chips. And I think that's where the high margin dollars are going to come from, are the software and the services, because it doesn't cost a lot to offer those. So, I mean, I'm really going to be interested in how they do in that area.
Yeah, not only has NVIDIA sort of proven its dominance in that area, but things are a little bit different. There were a lot of knockoffs back in the day that performed fairly similarly close to their GPUs, and now they've just pulled so far ahead. I mean, I remember back in like 2016, I had like two 42U racks of crypto miners, and most of the cards in there weren't even NVIDIA cards. They were just like knockoff brands that I got for bulk, like pallet at a time. But like now, I wouldn't do that. You know, I would use NVIDIA if I was doing an AI play, right? If I needed it for actual AI compute.
Taking away from NVIDIA for just a second. I just got on fintel.com. I don't know if any of you use Fintel. I think it's a pretty good resource for looking up information on shit. Just got everything. NVAX has a short interest of 44%. It's like 8 million shares short. Something pretty interesting.
What's the ticker on it?
NVAX.
NVAX. Got it.
went wild yesterday. I think mainly off of like Moderna had some big news about their COVID vaccine, but then also Novavax released news this morning about their new vaccine being more effective against the COVID variants. I got you, Aquasoma.
The ticker is NVAX. NVAX, you said?
NBAX, yes, sir. I'll reiterate my play on it. I wanted to get 922, like $10 calls. They have some kind of vaccine announcement scheduled for the 15th of September. Buy the rumors, sell the news, sell before the 15th. I think it's pretty good. I really like this chart too. I love trading stuff like this. So it's down a lot, but it's consolidated very heavily since the beginning. Well, not really the beginning of 2023. Since like March, it's been consolidating upwards, and then yesterday it had a big pop. I don't think it'll take much for it to pop. Will it continue? I don't know. Maybe.
If Novavax gets to the U.S. for vaccinations, they're going to keep on moving. They didn't have that opportunity last time. And again, the type of vaccine it is makes a big difference to some people that believe in vaccinations.
Man, for a second there, your voice kind of got all robot-y, and then for a second, you sounded exactly like Donald Trump. Like, his exact vocal timbre. It was very concerning.
That's because I was on the bathroom with a bad reception taking a shit. So I would sound like Donald Trump taking a shit, no doubt. Sorry, guys.
He's got very good vowels. His vowels are very good. Perfect vowels.
Perfect vowels.
Make vowel movements great again.
If Novavax's vaccine gets to the U.S., I said it'll do well for people that believe in vaccines. Again, Novavax is a vaccine that is different than the others. And if you read about it, you'll understand. What it's made from is pretty interesting anyway.
America, land of the vaccines. I agree.
So do you guys see any shakeout from this vaccine stuff? Because, I mean, there's even interviews with Bill Gates where he himself, like Bill Gates himself says that the best way to vaccinate the population is to let the virus do the vaccination for you.
Absolutely.
So what's the purpose of I don't get why everyone is gung-ho over these vaccines when the best way to get inoculated is to just get the virus.
Well, I mean, I think it was different when there were the two initial vaccines, but like, I'm not going to play this game where I get like some yearly dumbass vaccine. I don't do that for the flu. Instead, I just get influenza every year. I'm not doing that for COVID. They can just fuck right off.
That's exactly what I mean, because I'm not either. Like, I don't get the flu shot, and I never get sick. I didn't actually get COVID either. I never had COVID.
I can tell you that I got COVID, and then or after I got vaccinated. And,
hey, that's two of us. I never got COVID either. Never once.
Me neither. 7 of my friends went to. Again, my friends went to New York last week, as I told you guys, and out of the 7 guys who went to New York, 5 of them got COVID, and they're all vaccinated.
And the strange thing was that my wife had COVID. She went and she got the test. She tested positive, and then they asked me to come in and get tested, and I didn't have the antibodies or COVID at all. And I mean I never took any preventive measures or anything. I don't get it.
This is one that Discord gets like.
just remember what we thought about pharmaceutical companies, most people before the COVID. Once the COVID came out and these companies were making their vaccines, I knew it was going to be a billion-dollar business forever with them. Insurance companies going to get involved, and it's going to be a billion-dollar business, billions forever.
So,
I just can't unhear Donald Trump now. I'm sorry, okay, Mongoose. I just can't unhear.
Guys, I'm gonna talk like this because I'm in the wrong room, but I'm from New York and I have that accent, so I'll talk like this. Well, I can't do Nancy Pelosi. Don't worry. But I'm gonna tell you guys, stock market is a lie. It's a media manipulates. See, I try to do them, I can't do them.
okay, we got 14 minutes left. Anybody got any plays we haven't heard?
That shakeout may be done with NU, my favorite stock, of course. So it looks like it could be back to half normal, and it could pop back to where it should be at its eights and nines.
Do you know how much Warren Buffett owns of New?
500. I don't know. Was it 500 million? I'm not sure. What was it? I bought back in
I think it's a
because
lot.
people are. Well, I'm up 70% on it, but that was after the last earnings report. This earnings report, it's short. People are just trying to shake out, the retail buyers. It's like really never did that before in a while. But I had it, by the way, at $9 a share, and I cost average for all this time. So anyway, keep an eye on New, guys. I just tell you, you guys know your charts and see, because it will be popping back to at least its 8, and then it should be it was upgraded to, I think, I don't know what it was. You guys can check, but it should be popping back again. So try to catch the run up when it's right. I think just buying it now, good price, and holding it, you'll have a run up, at some time.
Papaya, what is this? Are you really bullish on Boyle? Yeah, that thing has just suffered so much. WSB Sound, stop going on strike.
Yeah, I think we need to take him to the hospital.
He's on the writer strike or the actor strike, one of the two, right?
Yes. He stands in solidarity with the people at Disney.
I think he was just out partying last night.
In all honesty, don't forget, the strike's going to last at least another year plus. So, back in the day, you'd buy stock AMC when a good movie came out. Because of the new situation, and Wall Street bets and meme stocks, it's no longer the situation. But we're going to have a strike for a long time, guys. It may last more than a year.
How do you know for sure that it's going to go on for a long time? Like what is?
Well, I've been in the motion picture business for 28 years. I've done Titanic, about 45 movies. I'm on the line. I know people are on the line. I know what this is about. This isn't about years ago with little situations. This is a situation that I'm getting echo. I can't tell. Somebody's mic is on. They gave the streamers a great contract deal because it was a new thing back then. And it hasn't really changed much. And now the AI is a big deal. I don't care what they're telling you, AI is a big deal. Extras are getting scanned. Talent, which is the main guys, are getting scanned. Okay, so this isn't a game they're not going to play. It's going to be going on for a year. That's how I know. I don't just talk off the top of my head most of the time. I hope I don't sound like Donald Trump saying these most important things. But I'm sorry, my voice is hoarse and I got this accent. But I love you guys. You guys, I've been around with you guys a while, and I can't like more better group of people in the morning to listen to it than you guys. So that's why I know it's going to last. Are you in the business? Do you think I'm wrong? I mean, or something else?
No, I think I'm not in the business, but I'm sort of in the business from the standpoint of the way that technology can disrupt an industry. And I think you're absolutely right. I think that industry is facing an existential crisis from the standpoint of the writers, the actors, the performers, all that kind of stuff, because they are about to be Napsterized by AI technology. Like what Napster did to the music industry, AI is going to do to the entertainment industry right now with
Well,
actors and stuff.
well, hold on. We don't have. We're not talking. We're talking about something that's never been done before. First of all, there's. I mean, you can scan a human, but we cannot produce the nuances that a human face can with computers.
You can't understand of 5,000 extras, and they're not all real.
Yeah, you're
Correct.
gonna.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's true. That's true, but
The actors are never look main talent, big guys, Tom Cruise, big guys. They're not going to ever let AI use them unless they get their billions, if even then, to be in a movie. You know, so we're talking about, and also don't forget the streaming part of it with the writers is huge too. So guys, this is going to last a while. I'm sorry to say, but lucky thing about it is that we got a thing called streaming. We got tons of things out there to watch. We never had that, 20 years ago. So people can still watch stuff, but you're going to watch reruns for a while, man. This is a big deal. I'm sorry to say, because pandemic, I'll go quick. Pandemic took away 4.5 years of my work. And now, which is meant has to be, is going to take away another year or two. So 6 years out of my being, I could not work in my business. And maybe when you're 20, that matters. Not much, because you're 26. But when you're in your 40s, 50s, and you up the echelon in where you are on the ladder in the business, you're taking away a lot of stuff, a lot of important time to do work. It's terrible, emotionally draining.
Yep, I totally agree with you. It's
That's
going
pretty
to take
brutal,
a while
man.
because, yeah.
I'm going to go. So that AMC goes up and all this, it's no more where I would buy do a movie.
I just want to say I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's really unfortunate. That it's affecting your business like that.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal, man. But what can we say? The thing is, the best thing about movies, guys, is you work on a big movie, maybe not like Hobbit, but like 8 months. The Patriot, 6 months. Then you get fired. Not really. You let go. You're done. Then you collect unemployment until your next movie, which hopefully isn't too long. And now people aren't working. They're not in between jobs. They're not going to collect unemployment, right? Unless they were working prior to. And even then, I'm not sure if they're going to collect it. So it's a whole situation going down, man.
Dude, that's crazy. I did not know that. So there's an entire industry of people that rely on unemployment like 4 to 5 months out of the year.
I'm sorry, man. I'm making not a joke. I'm making a thing. When you work on a movie, I work and I'm off a movie for like a month or maybe two while the other one's getting ready, jump on another picture. During that time, I can collect unemployment, which is nothing where you live in Florida or other places, depending where you live. I can collect unemployment and I'm back at work again. It's not picked up anymore. But yes, in between jobs, I didn't know this, by the way, until after my first movie. After job, you can collect unemployment because you're let go. Now, I'm going to let you guys go because it's almost 5 minutes before opening. I appreciate you guys a whole bunch.
Yeah, and it's not just the movie industry. I mean, up north.
Yeah, it sounds like what
that happens a lot.
Let's talk about Walmart real quick and how they receive about $3.2 billion in subsidies. In fact, Walmart used to actually have classes for their associates on how to apply for food stamps and how to apply for SNAP benefits and EBT cards. So Walmart is one of the largest receivers of government subsidies of any company in the U.S. Ticker WMT, Walmart. Just throwing it out there because it's so ridiculous, you know.
Been going on for years. It's ridiculous.
But that's like your tax dollars.
That's crazy.
We did a little
I kinda-
expose on that, and we were actually joined Walmart to get jobs as employees. Some people for the film, the expose. And you're right, they were showing how to do Snap and Case and doing that. So it was crazy, man.
A little side note. I was just looking at the options chain on the video. Would you like to guess how much a 470 is right now?
Those prices have been updated. I thought options prices don't update until 9:30.
Oh my god! I mean, yeah, you're right.
It probably costs as much as a 4070 GPU.
As of last night, 25. Yeah, you're pretty close. 25.45.
Okay, but
that's out of
counterpoint.
money.
Counterpoint. Since it's going to 10,000, that's just free money.
I think it's very possible NVIDIA goes up at least 10% on earnings. So, no, like all jokes aside. What do you guys think?
That's a fair assessment.
NVIDIA is the next Bitcoin. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Hey, I
So,
lost $5 on FOMO because of you guys, but I'm not listening to you guys anymore.
$5?
It's such a solid investment.
FOMO.
I think
ARM is going public today. I just noticed
ARM
the
is
title of the
supposed
talk.
to go
today.
public in September, is what I heard.
Oh,
so I don't think it's
all
today.
All right. So who picked the title for today's talk?
this guy named
does that?
Opinion.
Oh my
He's
goodness.
unpopular.
Yeah, I think we should all DM
What
him
is
and complain.
ARM goes
now-
public? What?
That's the title of the talk today. But it should say ARM goes public in September, not ARM goes public.
Well, at the
Opinion.
start, I think people were under the impression it was today, but I
Oh.
looked into it a little bit, and I think it's not until September. It's not fully clear exactly when.
Oh, thank goodness.
Why, Genome, did you want to buy ARM, but you didn't have the money ready just yet?
Oh, I've got it. I'm just not. I'm not at my office today, so I'm. I'd get back to my office real quick.
Tiger says
Yep.
NVIDIA will shoot up to 560.
The options chain, when I looked at it, said it was like 11% from what I've seen and all that. 11% is such a low ball because it went up 8% one day. I'm thinking 20% in either direction because it's 8% one day and that's not even earnings. Like that's hello. To me, that's just stupid. So.
Yep. Does
And
anybody
depending on
know
how-
the expected move? Sorry.
I think the expected is 11 billion and some change, and then like $2 and something for EPS. I think could be wrong.
Yeah, he's talking about like the percentage wise. By the way, got 27 seconds, 37 seconds.
NVIDIA Moon, please. I need the money. I'm desperate.
It's on its way.
Talking about money,
Went up $70 in the last 2 days for absolutely no reason. Why is a larger move not possible? It is the stock market 280T. Like, I went up $70. Why won't it go up 400?
So I'm
stock
seeing
market logic.
So I'm seeing Hasbro up. Oh, maybe I'm. You know what? I'm gonna withdraw. No, but it's up like 4% at open. Did I miss news? Because usually it takes a little bit and it's slow.
Oh man, I'm in Hasbro deep, dog.
Oh,
Like,
you know
after
it's
we
wrong.
had those, after we had those conversations about everything going on with them, I was like, man, I feel like this thing's just going to print. Between Baldur's Gate and between their success of their most recent Magic the Gathering expansion, just dope.
Novavax is up 3.
The bid ask is pretty ridiculous on these Novavax options. So maybe you want to wait that out. I'm trying to see what they are.
I mean, if you think it's gonna, oh, sorry, Novavax. I thought you were talking about Nvax. I was gonna say, like, if we think that's gonna squeeze from short interest, why not just buy shares?
Yeah, that's definitely the move to buy shares of Novavax. Like if you think it's going to be good long term, I just don't know. I just want to play this this news, and I don't know. It depends. Depends how Novavax does from here. Is it rising just off sympathy? Then it's probably going to fail. But if not,
So
I get like a bid ask on this. Sorry.
Well, I'm out, y'all. See y'all later.
So I waited until market open to bring this up because I wanted you guys to talk about plays, but now that market is open, can we enjoy the beauty that is AMC dropping 25% because the Supreme Court told the ape who put the court case forward, no, the Supreme Court is not going to listen to AMC manipulation. That's not a thing.
I love how there was a guy in chat yesterday that was like, AMC moon, AMC this, AMC that, and AMC drops 25%. It is written.
I am so glad I'm no longer in AMC. I got out of AMC at a profit, and I got out of Ape at a profit, and I'm done.
Good job.
All right, NVIDIA is falling. Everybody YOLO puts now.
So for
So
NVIDIA,
the one potential fly in the soup with NVIDIA could be like a Tesla type thing where Tesla had their earnings recently, and there was a run up in price prior to earnings, which pretty much priced in what they said because they had decent results, and then after the earnings, Tesla went down. So the run up now could be a part of that. Could be the same dynamic where it's being run up prior to earnings, and it's just kind of flat or down on after the earnings.
now didn't this NVIDIA run start yesterday because they came out with, and I'm probably going to be off on the numbers, there was a projection of them making like 7 billion, and they wound up actually releasing that they had made 11 billion on like a slight early release, and that's what's pushing this run so hard, is they made a lot more money than people expected.
Ooh, I missed that. I didn't catch that, but
I feel like I heard something about, there was something where people knew that their chips were going to be profitable, but they like had significantly more profit, because I was like, wait, why would their earnings be out already? But it was some type of like early release they gave because it was such a big beat. I'll have to look into it more because I only like vaguely follow these things as they come across. Okay, so it looks like Java's confirming it was like a 2 billion beat. Yeah, so there's like a massive beat that they put out, and that's what's really causing this run. So while
Does
it looks
that mean
nice
that
going into earnings, keep in mind if this is off of an already announced massive beat, there's probably not much else they can say at earnings that's gonna make people be like, whoa! You know what I mean?
The software and the services.
I am still waiting for all the Theta Gang people who are gonna screw around with naked NVIDIA calls, thinking that it has to go down.
See some nice lost porn.
I hope they're all.
It's gonna be like house lost porn. They're gonna be like, I sold a 600 call. It could never get there, man.
NVIDIA is pulling back a little bit. I definitely expect some extreme volatility from NVIDIA before their earnings.
I see our boy Leapin' Leopards talking about home prices. Housing is America's favorite bubble. Never forget that. Everybody wants housing prices to go down until they buy one, and then they want it to go to the moon and never stop. And it's such an interesting thing.
I will be checking WSB Reddit tomorrow solely for NVIDIA losses.
I mean, after their earnings, I might go check out our Theta Gang and just see all the people who are like, guys, what do I do? I keep getting this
Bunch of
phone
people.
call from unknown number, margin dash call. Why is SoftBank calling me, guys? What is this about?
Strictly Bear may have 10 margin calls after NVIDIA.
I thought Strictly Bear went bullish.
He did, and then he went bearish again. It's kind of weird.
So definitely some selling pressure here.
It's just the first hour, just the first couple minutes. But the two that weren't mentioned that are green for me, Roblox puts and U.S. Steel call.
Oh man, you guys. Sorry, do you guys see Hasbro going right now? 6%? It does not have 6% days. There's got to be news. They must have released Baldur's Gate numbers or something.
The volume's picking up too.
I'm gonna look into this, but it's got to be that like the initial sales numbers for Baldur's Gate 3 came out, and that's what's making it run. 'Cause I knew that was gonna make them a ton of money when it came out.
I got a target price raise. That's probably not it though. BNA Securities maintains buy.
Target price raise was like 2 weeks ago from Bank of America to like $80.
Georgia, did you say calls on Roblox? Did you say calls or puts on Roblox, Georgia?
I think he said puts on Roblox, calls on U.S. Steel.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, because calls on Roblox is not a good idea.
No. Puts on Roblox, and yeah, and calls on U.S. Steel. So,
Georgia, I just want to point out your mic is coming in really clear today, so good job, whatever you did.
oh, I didn't have my well, thank you. That's good. That's good. Good luck, everybody. Yesterday was just nuts. Just rattled from yesterday.
Crazy day. Man, NVIDIA. Let's see how much these options are now for 470. This is not working like this.
I cannot find what the only news I see for Hasbro is that they're doing like a Women's Day event to teach women how to like pitch toys to companies, which is good, but that wouldn't make a stock run.
AMD, you son of a bitch. That's all. I'll add to this. AMD did not do very well yesterday either. I mean, I know it did well with Nvidia being up 8.5%. I don't know. Also, Nvidia is damn near about to go red. I would guess it's just like profit taking for sure.
Yeah, right when I bought an SOXL call, it tanked like a couple points. Like this.
Yeah, I'm not buying.
I love
don't
how
really
you
like to
guys.
buy it.
I love how you guys buy calls on like 3x leveraged ETFs. Like there's just never enough leverage for y'all, huh? Full degen.
Well, I have like $30 left over, and I was like, I got to do something with this. I can't just leave cash in my account.
No, it's not specifically to you, Rylar. A lot of people buy calls on leveraged ETFs here, and I'm like, guys, like, isn't that why it's a leveraged ETF? So you
Well-
don't have to buy calls.
So I think it's just convenient because like you could get like really cheap options for them, but yeah, it's kind of insane.
As a general rule, I try not to buy anything before like 9:40, except if it's Friday. Friday is the only, or sometimes Thursday. I'll make that exception too, but just too much volatility.
Yeah,
Now,
I wait
keep
till
in mind-
10:30 something.
Keep in mind, if you do want to sit on cash, good old Robinhood is offering like 4.8% to just leave cash in your account.
Wow, that's excellent.
There are worse returns you could get just sitting money somewhere.
Yeah, if you have $1 million, if you have $1 million, it's 48, or no, it's more than $48,000 a year. It's like what? No, that's 48,000 a year.
Oh, actually, Mr. Job is pointing out it's 4.9%. So, not the worst place you could put money.
Shoving capital into Robinhood isn't the difficult part. It's getting the capital back out that's the challenge, from what I've heard.
I've
That
never
makes
had
a lot of
issues with
sense.
the money I have there going in or out, but who knows?
Isn't there just like a long waiting period when they have to like let it settle longer than other brokers?
Depending on the amounts that you're dealing with, it can take up to 30 days to get your dividend payments out after the dividend is paid. Yeah. From what I've heard, word on the street is.
God,
I found mine
they should-
within like 3 days, so I don't know.
I was just seeing, like, oh, how much are Nvidia calls right now? A $600 call expiring Friday is $184 right now. Oh, 700's only 2027.
You have to stop tempting me. I made some money on that 600 call, and I could have held it longer, but I'm just happy with that.
Just buy fractional
I
shares.
fucked up, man. Yeah, that works. I mean, at this point, yeah, it goes up so much.
We should all keep an eye on that new beer company, Tilray.
Is that cannabis beer?
It will be. I've got some Tilray shares. I'm just hanging on to those.
Yeah,
I'm
hang
not-
on to them. It's good long term.
Yeah, I'm not in a hurry to get rid of those. I'm perfectly fine just selling covered calls on them.
Yeah, but the return on the covered call on marijuana stocks is not really good nowadays.
Terrible.
By the way, I dislike weed stocks also, but once Tilray started buying the beer companies from Anheuser-Busch, InBev, and Coors, Molson, I was interested.
I don't know if it's Aurora Cannabis or Cannabis Growth Corporation, but I think I'm getting like a 12% annualized return on selling the covered calls. It was pretty decent. I mean, the dollar amount isn't very high, but the percentage on the capital is pretty decent.
Damn, QQQ. Drilling again. 9:45. Which direction we going? I have this little box drawn in between 366 and 364 on Triple Q. I think those are like resistance levels. I don't know if like the tech market really follows technical analysis though. Probably not. Maybe it does a little bit.
Someone's got their hand raised. One of the real things about technical analysis, but you're talking about like running more computers, more screens, and more individual than just one. Is that they're running technical analysis, but they're not acting on it. They're acting on what they believe everyone else is going to act on. So it gets to be, it's not necessarily a zero-sum game, because I wouldn't say that. There's clear advantages to technical analysis, but it still really is just tiptoe in the market, you know. Like someone who was talking about like if they didn't know if they were going to do something with like was it Novavax, and one of the things that you can do is there's like a gambler's philosophy having to do with stocks specifically, is that you can just buy one share. If it goes up by 10.
I think Tilray has other ideas than just putting weed in their beer. And I know weed beer does taste like shit, but so does Clamato Budweiser.
I'm so tempted to buy a Tesla 250 right now. It's 138.
So I would say, in terms of the weed stocks, like the two biggest disincentives for people investing in these companies is one, the illicit market, and two, that most of them are not profitable right now. So when you see a company like Tilray investing in a market that's not an illicit market, and inching towards profitability, which they have been. In fact, most of the weed stocks are inching towards profitability and probably are going to be profitable by mid-2024. The second that happens, these stocks are all going to pop, because that's all people want to know. Is the second people look at them and go, my money is safe because the company makes money, they are going to start investing heavily. If you look at these companies in terms of what they have in terms of assets on hand versus what their market cap is, they're actually trading, you know, the market cap is actually well below like what they actually own. So, you know, I know the weed stocks are fucking beat to shit right now, but if you ask me, this is the best time to buy them. Because, yeah, maybe one or two of those companies might go under, but if you're buying across the board, you are, the second these companies get profitable and people see them as legitimate investment opportunities, either because they no longer are illicit markets, or B, they have some type of profit and legal market like Tilray will, then you're going to be good.
What up, everybody?
What's up?
Hey, I heard someone talking about covered calls earlier. What the heck is a covered call?
A covered call?
On
A covered
what?
call
Oh
is when
no.
you buy. A covered call is when you buy shares. Like, let's say you buy 100 shares of Tilray cannabis stock, and you sell call options in out of the money call options on the shares, and you're using those shares as collateral. And then there's two things that can happen. If the strike price for your call options that you sold is hit, then your shares get called away. And usually, hopefully, you sold it at a strike price where you're making a profit on them. If the strike price does not get hit, then you keep the premium that you got for selling the call option to whoever bought it. The theory behind it is that 90% of options expire worthless. So if you're selling the options instead of buying the option, then 90% of the time you should make some money on them, in theory.
Thank you.
And that is a covered call.
That was a really good explanation. Thank you.
If I could add to that also, it's something definitely worth looking into. I don't know a lot about it personally, so I'm grateful for all of you that do. But the way I was told with selling options to people is like you kind of take the position of the casino. Like you're the first person in that transaction, so you're selling the option to somebody, and it's kind of up to them whether or not it's profitable. You know what I mean? So I think it's a really good like position to be in from an options trading perspective, as opposed to like buying and selling calls. It's a lot safer, I think.
Correct. The downside to it is that you're limiting your profit potential, because
Yes.
you're setting the price at which you're buying and selling the options, and if the price if for example, if you sell on Tilray, if you sell a $4 call option and the price shoots up to $15 because all of a sudden marijuana is legalized throughout the country, then you're still getting paid $4 for those options that you sold instead of the 15 that you could have sold them for. So that's the risk, is that you're limiting your loss, but you're also limiting your profitability on them. But any profit is better than no profit. Like you don't, as long as the option doesn't expire, as long as the option expires worthless, you're going to make money.
Well, I'll do. I do covered calls, but I do covered calls on sundial. And what I would say is, because I just didn't sell them. I just sell the shares because I ended up with them, and they're not going to cost me anything. Because when you were making money trading, buying and selling sundial, I was getting a
Also,
couple.
Tilray is Canadian. I'm not sure what other weed companies are Canada, but the government is the ones that grow in Canada and deal with the merchandising of the marijuana being grown and distributed.
Right. But basically, the statement I was going to say is, if people are out there or they're considering it, like I don't think covered calls on a marijuana stock should be gold. I think you should write covered calls on like Johnson & Johnson or Envita or a good paying dividend stock, something like that. I just got left bag holding basically 250 shares, but it's okay, But.
Well, that's true. You have to, obviously, you want to pick a stock. So the key to selling covered calls or cash secured puts is high IV, right? Like when the IV on options are high, that's when you get the most premium out of them. So that's when you want to sell the covered calls, or the opposite, the cash secured puts. So that's what you want to do. You want to pick. I just used Tilray as an example because we were talking about it, but definitely, like you want to pick when you're selling the covered calls or cash secured puts. You want to pick equities where the IV is really high, because that's where you get the premium. Most of the premium for selling the calls is from the IV.
So in order to make money off of covered calls, you need the stock to fall?
No. You see, as I heard how people were explaining this, and I saw that problem in how people are defining it. What they're talking about is how to maximize your profit off covered calls. It is almost impossible for you to lose money on your covered calls. Now, you may not get the maximum profit you could have gotten, but in other words, so let's say you sell a covered call of a stock that's $4. You sell a strike price of $5, okay? if they exercise that call, they're still going to buy all your stocks for $1 more, right? So as long as your covered call is above the price at which you bought your shares, so as long as that strike price is above the price that you paid, you're going to make money. Okay? The only question is, how much money are you going to make?
Yeah, like for my sundial, they expire Friday. Okay, so for 100 shares of sundial, I sold it for $1, and that's through TD Ameritrade, and what they charge 65 cents. I made 35 cents. So it's really not like I mean, that's a cheap way to learn, but I wouldn't consider that to be anybody's goal. Like, don't try to do that.
Right. So here's the deal. Here's your biggest risk with a covered call. It's not really that the price goes up. It's that the price goes down too much. Now, here's why. Let's say you sell your covered call for your stock that's trading at $4, and you sell your covered call at $5, right? You're going to collect a small amount of premium on that. If the stock drops by like $3, you've lost the value of your initial investment, which is the value of those stocks has dropped so much that it's not as much as the premium that you're getting over the same period of time. So you can't sell those stocks until you close out the call. So if you can't close the call and the stock starts dropping, you're kind of tied into that transaction until you can close out the call option. And I think, to me, that's the biggest risk that you run into with a covered call. It's just not being able to sell.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely right.
So again, if you're choosing to do covered calls and you're thinking to yourself, like, what kind of stock am I looking for? You really should be looking for something that you think is going to go flat or slightly up, right? So it's going to increase just a little bit, but, whatever strike price you've chosen is still outside of the range of what you think the movement will actually be. In fact, honestly, the most profit you can make off of a covered call is for it to move to right beneath that strike price. That way you can enjoy the benefit of the price increase, right, on your stock that you own, but also the person who has bought the option from you will never exercise it because it'll never be profitable for them to do it.
I would strongly suggest don't look for stocks to do covered calls on. Rather, just buy stocks you like. And if you have 100 shares of a stock and you're comfortable with selling it at a certain price, then sell a covered call at that price. Just knowing that you get to collect premium, and if it gets to that price and goes away, it's okay, you were going to sell it there anyway. That's probably the easiest way for you to play this.
Yeah, that's truth. That's Rad, you're absolutely right.
We are not going to go over naked options because I don't need people here yelling at me because they lost their, I would say house, but I guess Ford Fiesta?
Dude,
I was joking. I wasn't suggesting that. The only thing I will bring to this conversation on options is that the IV and the Greeks aren't arbitrary. They're defined by the market and what everyone thinks and the sentiment around the stock and what could or could not happen between now and expiry. So sure, you could look at a stock with a high IV and be like, oh, if I sell a covered call, the premium's high. But there's a reason that premium's high. And you got to think about it like that as well and consider what everyone else may do buying and selling, considering events that could happen in the future.
I think most people that end up doing the covered call activity unless they are substantially wealthy. They end up doing it on like medium grade stocks, and not for very much money. And then the stock will go down, and that introduces a whole bunch of other risks, you know. But if you think about it, it's pretty cool because you buy it at 4, like the guy is saying. You buy it at 4, and you're writing a contract that someone else can buy it from you at 5. Okay, who cares? I'll do that. How much are you going to pay me for that? Pay me anything you want. That's fine. You're still going to buy it at $1 more than what I just now bought it for. You see? So there you go. You just got to get into it and play around with it for a while.
So for anybody who is new and wants to get some learning on options trading, this is not a plug for a group that I have any relationship to, but it's who I learned from, and it's Tasty Trade. So Tasty Trade has a couple podcasts and stuff, and they're really, really good about teaching you how options work and how to take advantage of different types of options.
I was just going to ask that question. Thank you.
So who's dip buying NVIDIA?
Dude, no.
Come on, 600 is only like $180. It'll be fine.
The market is irrational as fuck this morning. I don't know what to do with this. I just don't want to touch it. I don't want to have anything to do with it.
It is fun. It is so fun to watch, though. Well, I hope whoever got that 350 or that 250 call on Tesla sold. Know how I trade is I get in and out.
I don't know. I'm neutral on in and out. You know, it takes a while for. Sometimes the market's irrational, but like today or yesterday, where it was just going, and at other times they just seem not to get it. There's just nobody's getting it.
Anyone knows what's causing Hasbro to move so?
Yeah, this is wild with Hasbro.
But if you can't afford Tesla, you can do the, TSLL, which is a fund that owns Tesla. And it's cheaper.
Here's something I found in Hasbro that's kind of interesting. Rad, do you know what Monopoly Go is? Apparently a lot of people are hyping that up. Is that like Pokemon Go but Monopoly? Instead you go around to businesses and foreclose on them and ruin people's lives? Is that what Monopoly Go is? Because it sounds kind of fun.
I declare bankruptcy. Let a slip from the office. I declare bankruptcy. Just that everywhere.
You can just be arrested for no reason whatsoever.
Sounds like a great time.
Sounds like a great game. Sounds just like Pokemon Go. I don't know, but apparently people are. I'm gonna look some stuff up about it.
A little bit of a sidetrack. If anyone's still in the Microsoft Activision deal, Microsoft is selling part of their UK part of Activision to Ubisoft. So they're trying to get that through to get the CMA to approve it, so they don't have to deal with them.
Damn. NVIDIA or AMD is being fucking brutal to me today. Here's another play for you guys. Moderna went up about 11% yesterday. Has resistance, pretty heavy, like resistance around 120. So maybe long term, if you're bullish on Moderna, which I think you should be, that's a good level to trade right there. That breaking of that 120. Personally, I'd do something like a 22nd of September. Looking at a 120 is 480. Yeah, this might be better to wait for this a little bit for these prices to come down, but I like a 120 to 125. A 125 is to 315, but that's still a little bit rich for my blood. Or if you wanted to be a degenerate, August 25th expiration for 120 is $121. That's much more reasonable, but much more risky. It's up to you. I'm still thinking these Tesla 250s are good. I'm just kind of waiting to see what kind of direction we're picking for the market, because it looks like we might go down and up tomorrow, but fucking kangaroo market.
So my theory, and I'm sticking to it, is that we are going to repeat yesterday.
Yep, I agree with that.
Someone has their hand up to speak. At that price, why wouldn't you consider TSLL 1.5 times Tesla 30-day option call option? Because at that price, it's the same.
That's interesting. Here, yeah, I'm looking that up right now. I didn't even know this thing existed. I usually don't like trading leverage option or leverage stocks.
For the person who said today is going to look like yesterday, what exactly do you mean by that?
It means I'm full quoting calls at 12.
Mm-hmm. I like that theory.
And is there a thesis as to why you think it's going to be like yesterday, or is it just like a hunch?
A little bit of a hunch. The past month or so, there have been a lot of repeating patterns, but that could just be meaningless. I think the run up yesterday will lead to some short covering, which we saw this morning and overnight, then profit taking, and then people are going to realize, oh shit, NVIDIA earnings is coming, and start buying again.
Well, my advice to you is when you create an idea like that, I feel like you're trying to use your confirmation bias to persuade yourself to think it's going to go in that direction. I think you should try to argue both point of views and then pick from there.
All right. Well, tell me why it's going to go down then. It can be my counterpoint.
I particularly have no opinion on it. I'm just saying, like, to make you a better trader is what I'm saying. Because confirmation bias really does play a part. And I've fallen victim to it a couple times.
I don't know if that's really confirmation bias as much as it's just like looking at the pattern of the last couple of days. Literally done this for like the last 4 days. Gone up, gone down, then gone up. Especially like Nvidia. Nvidia is essentially carrying everybody, but it's down right now. So I mean, I think it kind of depends on what Nvidia does. I like to look for signals in other stocks to like go long and shit. So if like Nvidia is up a lot, even though the QQQ is down, I can guess that QQQ is probably going to go up like 1% by the end of the day. And it's usually pretty close to that, you know? So, I mean, there's like a lot of, I don't know, man, trading's fucking hard. Do whatever you like. Do whatever works best for you, you know? For me, I don't like trading puts. I fucking hate trading puts. I've done well on them occasionally, but I am just a retarded bull, and I have to stick with that.
The interesting one right now is Apple. It is.
I hate Apple.
About to go above 177 again.
I hate
How's everybody
Apple.
doing?
Here. Not too bad.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Sweet. So yeah, honestly, I think, this kind of like runs along like a long theory that I've had. I mentioned it like literally months ago. I truly think that this little mini bull run is probably going to be the largest dead cat bounce of all time. You know what I mean? I think that people are in the middle of de-risking. We see that being prompted by the media pushing the Jeremy Grantham, the Michael Burry, the Warren Buffett plays and stuff like that. So I think everyone is being lambs, and they're following that, saying, well, if they're moving into a de-risking portion, then I'm going to go ahead and capitalize while I'm ahead. And they're basically not betting on the bull run to last any longer.
Can you guys hear me?
That's why we're seeing these days in the last couple days where it's like it starts to run up, but then people are like, oh, okay, this is a small run up, perfect time to dip out.
So are you saying it's going down, or you're saying that it's going up, but people are scared?
I'm saying that that as much as the market makers are trying to push it up, I think they're trying to push it up in order for people to dip out.
Why are market makers trying to push it up?
Again, so that way you can you can best capitalize on your positions before the market crashes.
Okay, well, so here's the thing. I think that we are going to make probably a local high. I think the bottom has been put in at 4,400 SPX. And if we can and if Nvidia does well, we're going to go up. Volatility always increases the closer to highs you get. So we made a high a month ago, and now we're dipping down, and we're going to go up. Realized volatility is going to increase. That's what happens. So that's my thesis, is just play the volatility. So anyways, how's everybody doing?
So to counter that, actually, I'm sorry, I just wanted to reply to that. When was the first interest rate increase? March of 2022, right?
Sure.
So if you actually look at pretty much every single time that you have a large monetary policy enactment, such as an interest rate increase, it takes approximately 18 months to work through the system. This is popularly known as standard. And if you look at 18 months, we're sitting at almost exactly 18 months from our first interest rate increase. and we still need to work our way through 5.5% of interest rate increases. So I think for the next hang on, I'm just saying. Sorry. So I think for the next 18 months, I don't think we're going to see any all-time new highs. I think that we're going to double top, just like we had touched a high on the S&P 6 months ago. So I think we'll double top, and then I think we're going to see new lows lower than last December.
I hear your point. Now I want you to go back and look at the interest rates during the dot-com boom. Just go look at that. And look at how high the rates were, for how long they were, and what was the return on the NASDAQ during that time. So this whole idea that you need zero interest rate regimes to have the market fly, yes, that's true. But the converse of that when rates increase, markets grind to a halt, does not always hold true. That's
it does. Well, no, because you're making a comparison directly, like the .com example is perfect, because in the .com thing, or actually, you know what? Let's use even more recent history, because more recent history applies as technology is more applicable. So let's use 2007 for when the interest rates started to increase there, and everyone said, "Oh, look, there's no recession in 2007." What happened in 2008? Because it takes 18 months for monetary policy to work through.
Does it take 18 months, or does it flip when they start reducing rates?
No, it always takes 18 months. It's the same reason why.
That is objectively not true. It is not 18 months. You could say like 16 to 24 months, but saying 18 months is objectively not true.
I'm sorry. Okay, so 16 to 24 months. I wasn't being exact. I was using an average between 16 and 24. Instead of saying 16 and 24, you can say 18 as an average, because then it's implied that it's 16 to 24, because you're never going to say, especially in the stock market, that this is exactly when it's going to happen, because nobody can time the market exactly.
So that's the same as saying 12 to 24, if you're going to say like 18 months exact.
Why? Why would that be the same as 12 to 24? 12 to 12. No. Hang on. I'm responding to you. I'm responding to you, dude. You just asked me 12 to 24. That's dumb. That's 1 to 2 years. That's a double of the time frame. I'm literally splitting the time frame. That is a massive difference.
So you're saying exactly 18 months. All right. So what's your play? Tell me, what's your play for today? Let's get past this. What's your play for today?
Sure. My play for today was actually I bought a call on NVIDIA after the dip, because I'm expecting NVIDIA to pop up. Hey, will you let me finish my sentence, bro? You're really bad at cutting me off. I have let you talk every single time. Anywho, I bought one call on NVIDIA to play before earnings, because I expected the run up tomorrow before earnings. You wanted to know my play? I told you my play. My other play is LMT, because when in the face of the market usually dipping, defense stocks go up. Those are my two plays.
Thank you, Mr. Java.
So is saying 18 the same as saying between 1 and 40? I'm just kidding. Fucking with you. That was some of the most entertaining whatever the fuck it was that I've experienced in quite a while.
I'm gonna jump in here, because during that conversation, Apple went above 177 and then quickly dropped.
Apple's going hard right now.
If you want to know like a general idea of agreeing with my thesis, I actually just posted an article which goes into a little bit more detail of what I was talking about.
So look, guys, I am always down to hear someone's thesis. I'm always down to hear people, defend their thesis and people object to the thesis. But, we should always remember that it's always just a thesis, and no one is going to be married to their own thesis, and even the people who are objecting to it, like, let's be honest, like, your opinion is just an opinion as well. So,
Of
you know,
course, I
like,
was super right.
like, you know, like, I mean, that's like a real thing, though, right? Like, we all know that, like, people change their minds in a month, right? And we
agree.
also know that, like shit changes. So, I mean,
Dude,
let's
I was
not.
super accurate with my bank failures thing, and I was super fucking wrong on my Nvidia thing. I mean, that's split. I mean, we're all
Yeah.
fucking human. None of it's perfect.
Yeah, like none of this is gonna work out perfectly for anybody. So, you know, like, but I'm excited to hear what people think is gonna happen, because, you know, like, that's sharing ideas, and I get some ideas and find some new ways to lose money.
Yeah, someone got offensive because it was my position. I mean, like, I'm not telling you how to spend your money. All I did was say my plays and what my thesis was on it. You can take it or leave it, but don't yell at me and interrupt me for my thesis. I'm not asking you to spend the money on it. I'm not a financial advisor.
Oh, well, I'm a financial advisor, and I think you guys should buy NVIDIA 600s. Financial advice.
I bought a 485 call, one of them, with an expiry
That's
of
very
September
good.
1st.
That's very good. See, that's much smarter.
I figured once it hits 20%, I'll offload it and I'll be happy.
Everybody just buy FOMC, FOMO, we all become millionaires. Come on.
If anyone truly knew what the market was going to do with even 90% confidence and timing, they wouldn't be in this chat. And if they did, they'd be sending us screenshots of like $1 million gains per day.
Dude, if they knew, they wouldn't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Hardy Rection knows exactly what the markets are going to do all the time. Markets go up and markets go down. So there.
Well, you're wrong though.
Sometimes
They
they go
also go to
sideways.
the right.
If there's one thing I know, it'll move to the right today. I'm really confident that it's going to move from the left to the right.
I'm waiting for
throughout the
Hardy's
course of the
GME
day.
play to take through.
Dang, NVIDIA fell kind of hard there. Is that because Apple fell? Kind of.
I think so. Apple's having a rough time. It rejected 177 quite hard.
It was pissing me off so badly the other day when I was trading it, because I really thought, you know, with a what was it, a $350 billion decline in market cap, I thought, oh, you know, maybe it'll be a bounce. No, it was like 177 when as high as 179.
It
I
filled
actually
the
had puts
gap
on Nvidia
almost exactly.
Right before earnings. I had puts on Nvidia primarily because of the whole news with the Chinese economy slowing down. And I know that they are most recently the most aggressive people to purchase iPhones. And I know that that iPhone pullback has happened, whereas their banking concept, although has taken off, has been very slow to take off. So I don't think that we really see returns on that for at least another year or two.
Damn, I was about to buy these Tesla 250s and then straight down. Maybe I'll hold off for a little bit. I got a little wrecked on the video today. Or not on the video, but on AMD. I don't like you anymore, AMD.
So in case this serves as an indicator for everyone, Strictly said he bought puts on the Japanese market.
Calls.
So calls, yep.
Always inverse Strictly bear. It's a good strategy. It outperforms S&P 500. On a side note, Moderna and Novavax are holding up decently so far. All right, looks like I might just chill out until noon. The fuck. I feel like maybe AMD has not been having a good time recently either.
Yeah, because Strictly bought calls on that, I think on Thursday.
Damn it! Strictly, you son of a bitch. No wonder they're down. I mean, yeah, 3-month chart does not look great on AMD. That's a downtrend. I was really interested in AMD because I got this line drawn at 108. I don't really do a ton of technical analysis, but what I do like to do technical analysis on is major resistance levels. So I see the price bouncing off a certain level, like specifically one level consistently over time. That's the one I like to trade. I don't like to try like 15 lines of resistance. You know what I mean? I don't think there's much point in that. But I do notice that like major resistance level is usually pretty reactive to price movements. And every time, like, I miss it all the time too. I'll even like draw these lines and I'll miss it all the time. But go figure, you know, some of these are like news announcements or whatever. Not really possible to catch those before they happen. Like intentionally at least. Otherwise it'd be illegal as fuck. Hell yeah, just as I was saying, yeah, Moderna's holding up. Falls like $1. Yeah, CB, I used to have this stock trading platform called Stocks to Trade, and it was awesome, man. I would I would be able to notify me on like my phone when like things would hit a certain price point. And I've used like notifications on brokers and stuff, and it's so inaccurate most of the time. Sometimes they'll send me a notification like 5 minutes after the stock breaks out, and it's like, oh, thanks, E-Trade. Like I'm fucking literally 5 minutes late for this play, but I really miss that platform. I do not miss how much I had to pay for it though. It was $180 a month, which I just told them over and over again. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, why would you pay this much for a trading platform? I want to get Fidelity. Everybody's telling me about how good it is.
I use Schwab.
Yeah, I've heard Schwab, Fidelity, and Thinkorswim.
Out of those three, Thinkorswim is the best, but I just use Schwab.
Creative Quantity called out Airbnb. It's up this morning. Is there anything going on with that Creative Quantity? What is this? Thousands of New York City Airbnb listings are vanishing from the market. Hosts are removing listings in response to city-mandated deadline. And Airbnb is blocking future dates for booking. Shit. Starting September 5th, city officials say that they will enforce rules on short-term rentals more aggressively. Hosts of short-term rentals need to register with the city to continue providing stays, and can do
What city was
so
that?
only if New York City. So, yep. I think it's just New York City, not New York State. And can do so only if they meet several requirements. These include not renting out an entire apartment building or home. Oh, wow. Yeah, Airbnb is not happy about this, obviously. I would say that's bad news. My thing about Airbnb, man, and I don't know, I have a little bit of a different opinion of it because we do shit like music festivals and we throw music festivals. A hotel is the place to be because that's where the fucking party is at, yo. If you ever been to anything like that, it's absolutely insane. And it's amazing that everybody in the hotel doesn't get arrested for how much chaos they cause. I absolutely love it. But like, I would much rather go to a hotel anytime over an Airbnb because you get like service. Oh, cool, there's a restaurant downstairs. And to me, it's kind of weird staying in somebody else's house too, but I'm also like a really personal person, so maybe that's just me.
It depends on the city for me. I like using Airbnbs in Washington, D.C. I thought that was pretty nice.
Oh yeah, I bet you get some like old school, like colonial houses in there. That's a little different.
I had a couple apartments like right there in like that central area. Actually, like I had one that was like overlooking the Amazon headquarters that was being built. But that was like so centrally located, it was just easy.
I will say though, to backtrack this a little bit and kind of contradict myself, I did get an Airbnb. Like Airbnbs in Colorado are the shit. We got an Airbnb in Horsetooth Reservoir, which is by like Fort Collins, and it was above a bar, like in like one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in the United States. So I mean, you can't really. It's hard to get that with a hotel. So that's like the flip side of it, I guess.
Yeah, for my wife's 40th. Sorry, for my wife's 40th birthday, we got a beach Airbnb up in St. Augustine, and that was really nice. So I mean, like, you know, I think it just kind of depends on, you know, where you're at and what you're there for. For us, we were there for the beach, and then we didn't have to worry about like trudging through the hotel, you know, all sandy and shit. We literally just walked out the back door.
Yeah, it's very market dependent, I would think. I remember during COVID, I had friends that were like renting out Airbnbs for like months, and I guess it was like cheaper for them. But I don't think definitely not the case anymore. But
another site I actually used that's not necessarily Airbnb. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. It's called Agoda, Agoda. And that actually gives me a pretty good split of being able to look at both hotels and private homes. And I actually used Agoda all the way through Japan when I went to Japan. Like every time I've gone to Japan, I've used it there because the cancellation date is usually about like 3 days before you stay. So if the price changes, like for instance, if you're in a hotel, you can actually just cancel your hotel and rebook your hotel at the lower price.
Oh my god, Japan's so bad. Yeah, we're supposed to go next year. We had 12 people, and now only 4 of us are going. You guys are pussies.
Yeah, they're gonna miss out.
I'm excited. I'm not bringing my lady.
Oh, you were.
So I'll just take it myself.
You were the guy that was talking yesterday about going to Japan.
Yep, that's like if I had to pick one place I wanted to go, that'd probably be number 1 or 2.
Yeah, man, definitely go on Agoda to book your places because then, like I said, you know, you're like, well, what if it drops in price? It doesn't matter because then you can guarantee it and just fucking rebook it. I did it like 3 times this trip.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out.
Japan is a great place to go.
Dude, the rate, the dollar to yen rate right now, it's like a 30% discount on absolutely everything that's over there.
Amazing. That's amazing.
When you go over there, you're gonna like start to realize it's like, why don't we do that here in America? It's just like stupid, simple things like convenience stores. Convenience stores over there are actually convenient. You can go in, you can get a decent thing of food, and you can also usually get like a beer or a highball, which is basically whiskey soda, for like $1.
I always
And
thought it
there's
was
vend-
weird. Sorry.
No, it's okay. There's vending machines everywhere that vend everything. Amazing.
This is true.
I was.
I would honestly move to Japan if I could.
I like Japan because when I'm in an elevator, I'm 5'5". When I'm in an elevator, I feel like a basketball star.
Wow. Update on the video. We are down almost 3%.
Yeah.
So who
that's
wants to
because
dip
I bought
buy?
a call.
Who wants to dip buy, guys? It's safe. It works. Jeez.
I blame the
Isn't
government.
the general strategy though that if it dips right below earnings, that it's gonna usually rocket?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But does it count as dipping when it was plus like 30% yesterday and now it's minus 3%? Is that really a
You're right,
dip?
Rad. It's like,
No, that's so true.
let's see where it's at compared to yesterday. Oh yeah, we're at the point where it basically broke out yesterday. I think in the afternoon. So unless it's pumped like a porn star. Thank you, Bike Days. He said earlier, going back to Airbnb to look at the short interest on it. I got it pulled up right here. I'm seeing more on 818, 1.3 million shorted, 930,000 shares short. It says it's 65%. What the fuck? Hold on, let me check this.
I like the idea of shorting Airbnb, but I kind of like the idea of shorting them after this quarter earnings because or the next upcoming quarterly earnings, just because I feel like this is like everyone's last hurrah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm a perfect example. I mean, I went to Japan because I had an excellent opportunity, and then I'm going on a cruise here in 3 weeks. So, but I mean, like, my wife and I were like, all right, after that, we've got to buckle down. We're just going to save money and not spend anything. And I feel like that's happening with more of my friends. They were like, all right, I'm buckling down now and I'm saving.
Where are you going on a cruise to?
Western Caribbean, Wonder of the Seas.
Very nice.
I don't know if it's still like this, but I went to Japan to teach English, and it's a tax-free situation, and there was lots of work. So that's still the same, but it's an interesting thing to go to Japan to teach.
Full Cripple, you need to go to Japan and go to the convenience stores. The food there is exponentially better than those cheesesteak egg rolls.
Yeah, it looks like Theta's gonna be the winner today. That's what I'm seeing.
NVAX, if anybody got in on it, is breaking out right now. Woo! Check that option.
We're gonna break out at 12.
Yeah, it needs. Let's see here. Just like that's a pretty clean, like, on the 30-minute. The day chart is brutal on NVAX. I just really like. I mean, it's choppy, but it's definitely consolidated pretty well between 7 and 8 for the last 6 months. The only thing I don't like about NVAX, I guess, is that there's really not, like, I guess this level at like 950 is kind of like a resistance / support. Which it's getting pretty close. It's at 885 right now. I still really want to get these Tesla 250s, but I'm just waiting to see what QQQ does. Moderna over 115. The only thing about mRNA options is that they're pretty fucking expensive. That hasn't changed much. Jeez, like a 120 is $120. And then in the money they're $350. 300 now. I gotta say too, I think AMD has unfortunately let me down more times than it's done me right. It's disappointing.
Damn, Novavax is up 10%.
Yes, sir. The thing that makes me really excited about Novavax is that low market cap, 830 million. Makes me excited. A lot of potential there.
You all know what's in the Novavax vaccine?
Here, I'll look it up. I'll be right back.
Very simplistic answer. I mean, it's the COVID. It's tree bark and it's moth. MOTA. Moth. Very simplistic. Please look it up and come back. Thank you.
How's everybody doing? Holy shit, NVAC's up 15% now.
That's crazy. I love how we're still kind of following yesterday.
Yeah. Like to a T.
Yeah, it's almost crazy.
Let's look at the video of yesterday. Wow. We could get a Friday again. That would be nice because I made a lot of money on 0DTE calls of NVIDIA on Friday.
Yeah, I guess the question is going to be, are we going to see a dip tomorrow, though, on the market? And I guess more specifically, NVIDIA.
I know it's hard to hold out for. I think we're down. We're kind of down a lot, though. We are up pretty tremendously over 2 or 3 days, but yeah, I'm just looking at the NASDAQ, and that looks like a pretty fair pullback from basically 391, I think, to dropping all the way to 354. It's pretty severe.
SPY just went green again.
Carvana is down almost 8%.
Carvana is? Oh no, not my favorite stock.
And when we spoke about that stock when it was going bankrupt, and people were saying, one guy said, "No, it's gonna pop," and I tell you, we've been talking about the stock for way long.
That one guy probably could have made 1,000 times his money trading options.
AMC is down 18%, so back double-digit drops. Very bullish, I believe, in MOAS tomorrow, as in yo ass will be no MOAS.
Oh, Carvana. This is sad. Carvana is doing bad, and that is sad.
Hasbro continues to rip because calls on cardboard crack.
Did we ever figure out if that was for anything, or just maybe Monopoly Go, maybe not? Maybe price target raises?
The only thing I can see is that they confirmed that they're going to be keeping their movie division going despite selling off most of it to Lionsgate. But that shouldn't have done it either. I don't know. I don't know, but the move makes sense to me. Between Baldur's Gate and Magic the Gathering right now, they're making so much money.
Yeah, I found out the other day that Magic the Gathering has, and correct me if I'm wrong, please, but 49,000 something cards, like unique cards. That's so insane.
Sounds right. Right now, it has the Lord of the Rings set, and it's selling like crazy. They have their most popular Magic set selling, and they have one of the most popular video games of the year selling. The company's making so much money.
Damn, QQQ just broke through view app like 3 minutes ago. A repeat of yesterday, anybody? it's really more like a repeat of Friday, I suppose. If it goes up and keeps going green, but there goes Apple over 177.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried it might be starting, an hour sooner, really, not 2 hours.
Yeah. I re-entered my calls on AMD. 115s aren't shit. Kind of a risky play, but I think my cost base is something like $35 for those. 37. It's up like 10%. Woo! My NVAX call though is up 291%.
So it won't happen today, but there is an unfilled gap on Apple from its horrible earnings, and that
I
will
know,
bring it up to like 190, 199.
I've been looking to capitalize on that since about what I was saying like a week ago. But then it had this dip like last week, and I was like, damn it, where it went all the way down to 173. Hasbro ripping, NVAX ripping, Apple maybe about to start ripping.
Well, depending on the news of Novavax and further research, which would take.
And you guys know for all the time I've been on, the Sapphire, talking about New again. New yesterday doesn't used to do before it was getting sloshed, and then it goes down 2%, and then now ends up up, and then now it's at even. And if it does go up today and it's up 1%, 2%, it may be the same that I've been doing for years. A while, which is buying, and then it goes up at the end. So this looks like it could be the pop. So keep an eye on New. It's doing the same thing it did before the week.
Oh, Pin, that's too funny.
When it comes to Novavax, okay, this vaccine, not I have like $1 left, so I'm extended. I guess I can go in a margin, but I don't want to. But one of the places that I would consider is already okay, which you're just gonna have to look at the chart and you just have to be a patient. Then I would short one share. Then if that showed green for half an hour, I'd short 10. And if that showed green, or let's double it for an hour, I'd buy put. That's how I would play that. But I only have $1.18 left. So that's how I would play that one. Could be tomorrow. It could be whenever. But if any of those criteria are not met, then stop.
Tesla's knocking at View up. QQQ up almost 0.5% now. Well, I like that AVGO is not down nearly as much as like AMD or NVIDIA. And AMD is down more than NVIDIA. AVGO actually just went above UAP too. The only thing about Broadcom, which is AVGO, is that these options are expensive. But you want to saying they're not nearly as expensive as NVIDIA. So like just barely out of the money. You're still looking at like $1,600 for like an 870 is $1,450. But that's way cheaper than NVIDIA. Just saying.
Apple is ripping.
It's good for the market. Yep, Apple broke out. I love it. And Vax, if you could just go up another 70%, that would be nice. Not asking too much there. Yeah, serious message I saw. I don't know if you saw this, but there's some guy on Reddit that did a YOLO on PayPal. A lot of people talking about it. I don't know what that YOLO is for. Let me look it up. Damn, just now seeing the Dick's gain points 600 to 25. Oh, 600 to 25K. Oh, that's really good. I thought it was 600K to 25K. I was more excited for that. Here we go.
All right, this is becoming scary close to yesterday. Even at the 11:10 drop that happened yesterday is now happening.
Oh, this fucking loser bought shares. What a fucking pussy. Never mind. Sorry, in my opinion, that's not a YOLO. Like, you put all your money on shares. Yeah, do options, you fucking baby. Because then you could actually lose all of it. then that gets us way more excited. No, I mean, definitely doing shares is the much more sensible thing to do. But on Wall Street Bets, you're going to get made fun of for that. I don't even get why you would call that a YOLO. You only live once. And then somebody commented so hilarious and like, congratulations on making or losing 75 cents a day. Yeah, boo this man. Boo. I like this one. Let's go, NVAX. Damn, Moderna's about to break the high of the day too. It breaks it at 115.84. It's at 115.70 right now. Big kind of boost from I still don't like how the 120 is 128 though. $125 is 50, but the delta on it's only 0.13. I like a 0.20 usually, at least. Yeah, papaya. I understand. I shouldn't have said that. When I think about that, yeah, it makes a lot more sense because like it's very easy to blow up your portfolio trading options. Might be one of the easiest things to do, actually. Yeah, what's up? I wish I could bring you up, brother. Just raise your hand, and someone should be able to bring you up. Or sister, I don't know if you're a girl. Oh shit, yeah, man.
Can you hear me all right?
Someone just brought him up.
Oh, there
yeah,
we
we
go.
can hear you.
Okay, great. So I have a question for you, gentlemen. Back in June, my mother passed away, and he did a lot of stock trading for the whole family. My mom recently got a hold of that account, and she doesn't know anything about stocks, and I feel a little trying to poke my dad's brain about it. Fortunately, he did any loss preventions on some of his stuff, and so he lost 90% over the last year when he was going through some complications. But I was trying to get y'all's opinion on what he has remaining. Like 4,100 shares.
You breaking up really bad.
I'm breaking up now.
Yeah. I can make out about 25% of what you're saying.
I don't know how to improve it. Yeah, maybe I'll bring this up again whenever I'm in a better connection.
Well, hey, why don't you? Is there any way? I would love to answer or give you an opinion. Can you just put like a little DD in chat, and then I can tell you?
Yeah, I'll try that out.
Yeah, I always like hearing new ideas. Different perspectives. Every little bit makes you a better trader. So. I just heard that he lost 90% of a position in a year, and was that from options? Because no, real talk, like real investing talk. If you have money, if you have capital, especially if you have over $25,000 and can go over PDT, you should absolutely be trading stocks and not fuck with options at all. Maybe like selling them. Like, in my opinion, the best position you can be in is like buying Nvidia right at like $60 a share in 2020, and then selling covered calls at fucking like $400 a share. If you have capital, stocks are undeniable. I'm sorry to hear that. You could do whatever you do with it. Do you have like any experience at all doing this? Because I can tell you right now, do not even like look into what options, like fuck options. If you're brand new. Yeah, paper trading is a good idea. Oh no. Oh, that's great, man. 150K is excellent. I mean, if you want some like, of course, this is not financial advice here, but there's a lot of stocks that are really, really good and out there. I mean, I hate to tell you invest in shit like Nvidia, Apple, stuff like that, but that stuff's pretty safe, especially if you have like that kind of money. You use all of it on 0 DTE SPY calls. Shit, you can make $1 million if you're right. Yeah, put it into something safe. I mean, honestly, dude, like just buy shares of QQQ or SPY. Yeah, I wish TechMonk would be a much better person to answer this question for you. Because he's got money. I don't know what that's like. Yeah, sorry your mic isn't working, man.
No, I'll do it, but not 150K. I'll do 5 to 10,000. Okay, and there's a couple tickers that are they're mutual fund based, and what they're looking for is current income, monthly income. So normally a dividend, is by the quarter, but these will pay a dividend every month, and you can run a screener for them. I can actually go to my portfolio. I'm going to avoid telling you some of them, but some of the tickers. But one of them is Sierra Indigo Foxtrot. Okay. Another one, they are a mutual fund. Okay. They are looking for dividends from the Dow Jones Industrial Average and from the NASDAQ, Russell 2000. That's what their focus is. They also do private loans. Okay. MVO. Let's see. CIF 10%. Actually 11% paid monthly. Okay. And it's relatively low right now, which doesn't reflect bad business practices. Okay. It reflects like what I was saying before, like share trades, money moving in and out, affects it 1 to 2 pennies here and there. The other thing that will affect a mutual fund like that is alterations of the interest rate. Okay, so if they boost interest rates, then anything that is designed to create a fixed income will go down. It's one of the reasons why CIF trades at like $1.67. So you don't pour money into it. Okay, you don't pour like a ton, but put a couple thousand in it. You know, five to me sounds good. And then leave like the rest in cash. It's okay. You're not missing out on anything. And then
I'm gonna jump in here because one thing I wanted to mention on dividends, with a lot of the new products such as JEPI, the dividends are taxed at a different rate and they may not be fully qualified dividends. So you will pay more in tax with those as if you owned like a AT&T that pays a traditional qualified dividend.
Okay, yeah, agreed. There's a number of trusts as well, oil trusts and real estate trusts. And then there's some of your financial companies that what a financial company that tries to make loans, what they essentially try to do is they focus on a particular like sector, high risk loans or relatively low risk loans. You know, one of the tickers that I use is actually LOAN, LOAN. They lend money to people in the New York City and the metropolitan area, okay, that for rehabilitation in order to increase the value of the real estate that they just purchased, okay? So loan doesn't purchase real estate. They give loans to people who are purchasing real estate, okay? And their loans, by the way, are secured by that real estate. So they are a second, it's not even really a second mortgage because they're actually dealing with companies. Now, again, the taxes that were just brought up apply. So, you know, what you could do is $1,000 on each of those. They're going to fluctuate a little bit, but out of 150, you've solved 2 of your 150 problems, and then from there, you know, you can go on. There's a bunch of them out there. With the increase in interest rates, it really has affected the market. There's a lot of good dividend paying medium grade stocks out there. And so if you buy 1,000 shares, what are you gonna get? You're gonna get $10 a month. Like if you subtract 2 zeros. And so if you figure out that works, you might like learn a couple other things. Just leave it in cash, and as you like learn and so forth, there you go. Now that the 10, don't do anything else. Just take the $10, okay, and now start doing some other types of things with the $10. Pretty much whatever you want. It's not a lot, but you get the idea. A few of the others are MVO, EDF, and PVL. However, that's an oil trust. PVL just took a bump And so if you buy it, it's probably going to go down. But it's yielding 16% right now, and there's not a lot of risk because that oil is in the ground. It's not going anywhere. So there's a couple ideas for you. Don't do 150. Just do one, and then check back. Then check back next month.
I think if you have $150,000, I don't know, man. I have no idea what I would do if I had that much to invest with. But I mean, in all seriousness, I would like to, like, if I had that kind of money, I'd like to own shares in Inspire QQQ. I know it's not as slow or not as exciting as like other things, but if you look at a 20-year chart of QQQ and SPY, it's kind of undeniable that it just goes up. Market go up, right? Almost pin. We almost there. Tesla's really pissing me off right now.
I'm counting on them going down. I'm looking for the ones that are going down. I think a lot of people think that they are going to go up. And the semiconductors will go up, but they're also expensive. So that's a different situation than like, spending like a few $1,000s when a real estate stock drops 3% in one day, which because of these Teslas and Nvidias and because of the gamblers, that is a regular occurrence. So that was my point earlier about trading for shares. I mean, the Empire State Building has gotten cheaper just because there's gamblers pull their money out and they go off and do something with it. Okay, whether I hope that they make money, I don't know that if they do or not, but there's market influences that affect the price, and if you want out, you have some resources, you're going to drop the price. And if there's a number of you doing that, you're actually going to drop the price 3-4%. And the Empire State Building, last time I checked, is still there. No, not going anywhere.
Well, Pin, it looks like market's pretty much hugging View app into noon. I mean, I somehow think we stay flat or maybe even down. Switching my thesis. Just because of like what Nvidia is doing right now, I'm not sure what to make of that. Or what to ever make of Nvidia for that matter.
I worry about it being flat too, but I think there's going to be a bunch of idiots buying Nvidia, realizing that tomorrow's earnings.
Yeah. Nvidia is the most like pumped thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, but imagine all the idiots who heard about Nvidia earnings over the weekend and then transferred money to their accounts on Monday, and maybe part of it's clearing today and tomorrow. I might do SPY calls, but not expiring today. I may break my rules and get some expiring tomorrow.
Ooh.
And hold them overnight.
Ooh, you're risky. I like that move. That move does sometimes work out very well for me too. But most of the time I get fucked.
Yeah, I just holding options overnight just sucks.
Man, NVAX up 18%. AMD, you suck. Fucking prank call AMD. Order a bunch of pizzas to their headquarters.
I do have Kenview on one of my longer term hold lists, just because I think it's a super value stock.
What's the
It's on
ticker
the
for that?
KVUE.
KVUE. Okay.
It's a spin-off from Johnson & Johnson.
Interesting. This IPO not too long ago, huh?
Yeah.
2023.
The only concern, which I hope people have gotten over it, is that Johnson & Johnson is paying a dividend to its current shareholders in the form of KView stock. And that's going to increase the amount of shares that can be sold on KView.
Yeah.
And that could push things down. Dang, SPY went green again.
I just sold my Tesla call too, damn it. I haven't really been watching SPY. I need to look at that. Yeah, SPY looks like it wants to do something at this level. Man, how much is AMC down in 2 days? 40-something%? From 4 to 250. Yeah, I like this KVUE. It's having a really good day today.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's up. There was some news that Johnson & Johnson is going to hold a little bit more of KView stock and distribute less, but I think that was yesterday. But I mean, look at its income. So revenue, $15 billion. Is that the full year? I'm not even sure if that's the full year. Well, it's $15 billion for 2022 too. So $15 billion in revenue, market cap of $45 billion. Like that's just 3 times their revenue.
$450% on this NVAX option. I kind of want to sell it. It is the only thing that will make me profitable today. I'm up a little bit on ABGO calls. Yeah, I remember why I hate trading Tesla. They'll run for like a day and then goes, nope, back down.
I'd love to get Tesla at sub 200.
I really want to get a 250 right now, but it's just sketching me out so much. Yeah, it's still continuing to fall. Damn it. And AMD let me down earlier too.
Because Strictly got calls.
Fucking Strictly. Okay, so I scratched my AMD play. AVGO now, guys, for listening for the video. Doing well on earnings.
AMD just doesn't move much compared to everything else if you look at like a 1-year chart.
sucks.
I mean,
I really
it's
hate day trading.
yeah.
It's like what that guy said about PayPal, about like, oh, I have a YOLO on PayPal, 30 grand. But you only have shares. I'm like, that's gonna move $1 a day. But $30,000 of shares. Definitely doesn't move like Nvidia does. That's for damn sure. I bet that 250 is a lot cheaper than what I called it out for earlier. Ooh, it's only 74 now. Ah, man, that is so tempting.
SPY actually looked like it established somewhat of some support. I mean, that's higher lows, and then we just kind of bounced at break even for today twice.
Well, it sure is choppy today.
Watch it just hug the line at plus 0%
I know.
on SPY.
I wouldn't be surprised the day before Nvidia is earnings. AVGO is technically outperforming both AMD and Nvidia.
I mean, it's got a better PE ratio than both of them.
Yeah, much better. I like Broadcom. From what I understand, Broadcom's like the second largest, like right under Nvidia market cap wise for the same sector. And I can't forget that last time that Nvidia went crazy, AVGO went up 22%. And I was like looking at the percent gains on the options chain, and they were up like, I don't know, it was like fucking 16,000% or something insane like that. I wonder if there's something else dragging like the market down. It's probably just Nvidia. Ooh, that Archer Aviation's fallen. Oh, it's kind of bouncing a little bit. Better called that out earlier. That would have been a great like dip buy play. Yeah, PayPal is kind of ripping though. All this shit I've been talking about it.
I'm just kind of curious with PayPal. Is PayPal going to benefit from the FedNow system and be like the consumer-facing portal where most people can get that instant transfer, which is kind of already there, but maybe they can link it up to instant transfer to bank accounts, or whether banks are going to provide a competing instant transfer service using FedNow?
I think that's much more likely, the latter. My whole thing about PayPal is that's down so much. It got a horrible, horrible chart. It really, truly does. All right, guys, I'm gonna go pretty soon. There's this cute girl that follows me around the gym on Tuesdays, and I'm gonna maybe say hi to her today. Probably not, but wish me luck. Have a good day, everybody. If you guys are still on later, I might come back on after I get back from doing all my runs. But yep, Tesla looks like it's gonna go below 233, so I better stop myself before I lose more money. But have a good day, everybody. Bought my bench. Yeah, I mean, I'm like with a girl, right? Not really with a girl. We're like separating right now. I don't know. It's really fucking weird, man. So it's like, yeah, I need to do something. It's been going on for a while. Yeah, and she's got like kids and shit, and I left her. I don't really want to get into it with you guys, but it's pretty recent. But weirdly, I'm not too fucked up about it, even though we were together for like 3.5 years. But yeah, anyway, sorry for the life story. Peace out, guys and gals.